more details in the lead up to a deadly shooting involving Toledo police officers. And it turns out the suspect involved was from out of state. A school community is in mourning following the loss of one of their students, and a recent vigil remembered and honored his young life. And one organization is sending the reminder that homelessness can impact anyone, but that there are ways we can come together and open up a much-needed conversation. Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Chase Bachman in for Michael Sandlin. Thanks for joining us. Let's get a look at the forecast with meteorologist John Birchfield. John, it was foggy start to the day. Can we expect any more fog tomorrow?
Well, Chase, there could be a few areas of patchy fog tomorrow morning, so plan on some minor travel delays, but the sunshine's quickly going to return, and boy, it's going to be a really nice fall day. Mild and dry, temperatures climbing up to the mid-70s by the afternoon. Will be a solid 8 to 10 degrees above average with lots of bright sunshine ahead. Over the course of that Sunday evening, temperatures have been in the mid-60s near the lake, low 70s south towards Putnam and Defiance counties, as well as Wyandotte County. And the hour-by-hour forecast, low temperatures are not going to be that cold, near 50 degrees with a little bit of fog, and those afternoon highs in the 70s, with the exception of the lakeshore due to a light northeast breeze coming in off of Lake Erie. Monday's forecast, right around 73 degrees expected, and the bus stop, well, there could be a few minor delays, patchy fog possible to start the day, and sunshine quickly returning into the afternoon. Now, you may be wondering, will the sunshine last, and what about rain chances? I'll have those answers coming up in just a bit. Chase.
All right, John, thanks. We have an update on the police shooting in South Toledo earlier this week. New body and dash cam video shows the moments leading up to the shooting. We're learning the person shot was a 22-year-old named Zachary Reed from North Carolina. Reed reportedly came to Toledo after being kicked out of his home there in North Carolina. Police say he asked a friend here in Toledo if he could stay with him. That friend told police that Reed brought a bag full of guns with him. The friend immediately wanted Reed gone after seeing the guns and asked police to come get him. When police got to the home, Reed drove off down Airport Highway before crashing near an old strip mall. Police officers told Reed to get out of the vehicle, but he refused, asking police to tell his family he loved them before stepping out of the vehicle and pulling a gun on the officers. All 10 responding officers shot multiple times, hitting Reed. Toledo Chief of Police Mike Trenley says they planned on trying non-lethal solutions, but Reed's actions required an immediate reaction.
Do we have a tactical approach to try to get somebody out of a vehicle? Yes, we do. At this point, we weren't to that. At that point, we're just trying to talk him out. Eventually, if he never comes out and he's still armed, yes, we have tactics to try to remove him from the vehicle, but vehicles are very tough to do.
All 10 officers were initially put on paid administrative leave, but have since returned to work. Well, a local school community is grieving the loss of an 11-year-old boy who was hit by a car while riding his bike. Staff and students at the Explorers Academy of Science and Technology came together to honor and remember Devontae Bailey. Police say he was riding his bike Monday night in West Toledo when he went onto Jackman Road from Marlowe Road and was hit by a 76-year-old driver. A few days after his death, friends and family released balloons in Bailey's memory. Bailey's teachers say they didn't have him in class for long, but he was a joy to be around.
Dealing with loss is very difficult. Trying to get children to understand loss, that their friend is not going to come back, has been traumatic for me as a teacher.
The school says it has brought in counselors to support students during this time. And after more than a century of service, the St. Michael the Archangel Parish in Toledo is set to close early next year. The closure was decided by multiple factors, including declining membership, low mass attendance, limited active ministries, and ongoing financial struggles. However, the parish will be merged with St. John the Baptist Parish in Point Place, which is being called an extinctive union in a statement issued by Bishop Daniel Thomas of the Diocese of Toledo. St. Michael the Archangel Parish will hold its final Mass on Sunday, January 4th, with the merger officially taking effect on Tuesday, January 6th. School leaders from across Northwest Ohio are speaking out against a property tax relief bill that's being floated in the Ohio House. House Bill 186 would set a limit to how much additional revenue school districts can get if they are at the base amount. Republican lawmakers say the bill would create more than $1.7 billion in property tax relief, but school leaders say this loss of funding would be disastrous, leading to losses between $2 and $3 million per district over the next 3 years. School leaders say there needs to be change, but says this bill is not the solution.
Many districts, particularly those in rural areas, but also including districts like Perrysburg, would face catastrophic revenue losses. For instance, schools in Williams and Putnam counties are projected to experience revenue declines as high as 15% over the next few years.
Local superintendents say fully enacting the Fair School Funding Plan would be a way to sustainably fund public schools and stay off the ballot. Well, the Toledo Lucas County Public Library is looking for community feedback for a future expansion project. The library held its second community listening session at the Holland branch to get ideas and input from residents about the new branch coming to the neighborhood. Upcoming renovations are part of a $153 million bond-funded capital improvement project across the entire library system, which was approved by Lucas County voters last November. The first phase of construction includes work on the Holland and Heather Downs branches, a new Washington branch campus, and a new White House branch.
We've also just been hearing time and time again that individuals here in Holland are just looking for more space, more meeting rooms, a better children's library, which we completely understand. So a lot of really great feedback that we've been hearing from individuals.
Construction on the Holland branch is set to begin in the middle of 2026. Cherry Street Mission hosted Conversations on a Bench with community members talking about what homelessness actually looks like here in Northwest Ohio. Having conversations about the homeless, the stigmas, and the challenges that come with it. But the mission's CEO says ignoring homelessness doesn't make any change and says some people can be one unexpected expense away from experiencing homelessness, whether it's a home or car expense or a trip to the emergency room.
I don't want to bring it to light. I think the most important thing to recognize for all of us is that that person, given the right atmosphere, probably doesn't look any different than you and I.
Ebert says there's no one solution to homelessness, but focusing on policies that make resources more available, addressing housing issues, and having conversations like these are a step in the right direction. The Oak Harbor nonprofit Sleep in Heavenly Peace is building beds and hope. The nonprofit hosted a community build day to assemble and deliver beds to local children in need in Ottawa County. According to the organization, more than 157,000 kids in the United States currently don't have a bed. And that is why volunteers and the organization came together to make sure no kids have to sleep on the floor.
It's a very humbling experience, and we've been able to provide 220 beds to kids that attend school in Ottawa County, and never did we expect to get the results that we did, but we're very fortunate to be able to give back and have that opportunity.
Berlin says the 20 beds built this weekend will go into storage and be donated in the near future. The American Red Cross launched their Home Fire campaign 11 years ago, and since then they've helped install more than 2 million free smoke alarms in homes nationwide. That trend continued in Hancock County, where volunteers with Red Cross of North Central Ohio went to 20 households across Findlay to install free alarms to homes in need. Fire escape plans were also discussed to help families be prepared in case of an emergency. The director says they want no excuses for not having working alarms.
A big part of this, along with installing the smoke alarms, is working with the families on the home escape plans. What most people don't realize is that in a fire, when that smoke alarm goes off, you've got basically 2 minutes or less to safely get out of the house, get to your meeting place, which hopefully you and your family have established by talking about these things ahead of time.
He says programs run all year long, and if you're in need of an alarm or interested in volunteering, reach out to the Red Cross. President Trump is heading to the Middle East today, where he will co-chair a summit to officially end the war between Israel and Hamas. The peace deal consists of multiple parts. In the first phase, Hamas has agreed to release the remaining people held hostage for more than 700 days. Jen Sullivan has the details.
With news of a peace deal between Hamas and Israel, tens of thousands of Palestinians now returning to what's left of their homes in Gaza. So many communities scarred by 2 years of war.
They destroyed most schools, many clinics, 94% of our hospitals. The destruction is beyond belief.
Tens of thousands of Palestinians have died, including children, and nearly 2 million have been displaced since October 7th, 2023. When Hamas militants waged brutal attacks across southern Israel, killing around 1,200 people and kidnapping more than 250 others. And Israel retaliated. Now, the U.S. stepping in to help broker this peace deal.
I think it'll help. They're all tired of the fighting.
In the first phase of the 20-point plan, Hamas has agreed to release all remaining 48 Israeli hostages, 20 of whom are believed to be alive by Monday. And in exchange, nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners in Israel will be freed.
Our hostages have been at the forefront of this war, in our minds at all times.
Crowds gathering in Tel Aviv Saturday, celebrating the news that the hostages are coming home. Some members of the Trump family and U.S. Special Mideast Envoy Steve Witkoff addressing the crowd.
Tonight, we celebrate something extraordinary, a moment that many thought was impossible.
Trump is expected to meet with hostage families in Israel Monday before heading to Egypt, where he will meet with the leaders of more than 20 countries to discuss the next steps of this plan. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
And turning to that weather forecast, the mild and dry conditions are going to be continuing into the upcoming work week, so you can expect temperatures in the mid-70s. There could be a little bit of fog out the door to start off the day, so keep in mind there could be some minor travel delays for the bus stop and the commute. Very comfy conditions for your Sunday evening, with most areas in the mid-60s, but south and west a little bit warmer, closer to 70 degrees. And I do expect that trend to continue, where it is just a little warmer south and west and a little cooler near the lake shore. High pressure is producing sunny conditions, and there's not going to be any rainfall during the work week, with our nearest rain chance next weekend. So let's time out the fog hour by hour, starting off the day. It's mainly areas north and west of Toledo that could see some reduced visibility. The latest data, in particular, pinpointing Lenawee and Hillsdale counties, so do plan on a few minor travel delays. By mid-morning, still seeing that fog, potentially even in the Toledo metro by about 8 a.m., and then by 10 to 11, fog burns away with clear skies and sunshine ruling the day. Kind of like what we saw today, a bit of fog to start the day and sunny and beautiful conditions during the daytime. Hour by hour forecast, we're going to be around 50 tomorrow morning, so not overly cold by October standards. And then into the afternoon, highs around 73. That's still not going to be as warm as it is Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be the warmest day of the entire 10-day forecast, with high temperatures around 75 degrees, although light east winds are going to make for a slightly cooler setting near the Lake Erie shore. Starting off the week, we do have a little patchy fog, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures right around 73 degrees, and that puts us at a solid 7 to 10 degrees above average for your Monday. Now, there is still the ongoing drought, and not just any drought, but an extreme drought, with the worst of the drought conditions right along the Maumee River Basin, in particular south of the Maumee River from Lucas and Wood County, stretching back towards Defiance and Paulding counties. Extreme drought prevailing across Lucas and Wood down towards Hancock, and then westbound essentially right along Route 24 towards Fort Wayne. So when will we possibly see any rainfall? That's going to have to wait until next weekend. Rain returns late next weekend. In particular, Saturday night and into Sunday is when we're expecting our next weather maker that's going to roll in for the tail end of the weekend. Now, as far as how much rain we may see, there is still some uncertainty. We're going to fine tune the details of that this week, but it does look to be fairly widespread as of now in producing that necessary moisture into the weekend. Monday is going to be a sunny and mild day. We have a very quiet stretch of weather this week, so area farmers thinking about that fall harvest, it is going to be a fairly quiet week of weather. Midweek, a cooler feel rolls through. A cold front is going to usher in temperatures in the 60s, although with such low humidity, this cold front is going to come through without any rainfall. Now, rain is going to hold off until next weekend. Again, Saturday night and into Sunday, that is going to be our best chance for some widespread precip for the tail end of the weekend, and that's going to be a stronger fall cold front that's going to bring us some changes in the weather. There is going to be a 30% chance of showers next Saturday, and then a 40% next Sunday. So again, mostly late in the day Saturday, and then into Sunday is when we could see some rainfall. It's going to turn